Hello class, welcome. On the onset of online learning platform, I am your English teacher Gaurav Rai. Welcome you on the onset of online learning platform. Today we are going to read chapter number 4 of class 7th standard. The topic is the ashes that made trees bloom. And in this class, in this video, we will read from paragraph 1 to 3rd. In the previous video, we have known about the summary of the chapter. So in this video, we will go in detail explanation, and I hope that you all enjoy the video and you will also look on your book, observe on your book, and you have to keep pencil in your hand so that wherever you are getting hard word, you can get the meaning. Understand? So come on the chapter. Come on the chapter. This is a story about an honest and hardworking old couple and their pet dog. The neighbors and troublesome. The neighbors are troublesome, and the dog ties a sad debt. The spirit of the dog gives solace and support to his master in unexpected ways. I know that you have all enjoyed your chapter, your video, the previous video. The chapter name is The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. As you know that how the ashes made the trees, withered cherry tree, to bloom, to blossom. So come on the paragraph number first. In the good old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. So in this paragraph, you are getting that in the good old days of the daimyos means in 19th century in Japan, wealthy landowners. It is given the word meaning in your book. Was a little dog. They had the old couple had little dog pet, and they had no children, so they loved it as though it were a baby. And the old dame made it a cushion of a blue crepe, and at mealtime, Muko, for this was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. And as you know that the old dame means what? Lady. The old lady made it a cushion of a blue crepe. The old lady had made a cushion for sitting of blue crepe. And what do you mean by the term CRAP crepe? The term is clothes. So the old lady made a cushion, gadda, in Hindi you say it, blue crepe, and at meal time, Muku, what is the name of the dog? Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. And what do you mean by the term here, snug? The meaning is snug here means comfortable. Comfortable. So the dog sit on the blue crepe cloths cushion during the meal time when he takes food comfortably. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits. Tidbits means pieces of fish. And the kind people couple fed the dog with pieces of fish from their own chopsticks. And what do you mean by the term chopsticks? Chopsticks means the chopsticks has two forks that are made of wooden and that are used to eat something. So the old couple, they were using their own chopsticks to feed the dog, and they were providing the dog tidbits, means pieces of fish from their own hand and all the boiled rice it wanted. And they also provided the dog boiled rice, whatever the dog wanted. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protector like a being with a soul. And thus treated, they were treating the dumb. What do you mean by the term here, dumb? Dumb means without power of speech. Without power of speech, one who can't speak. So the dumb creature who can't speak anything, they were treating, they are the protectors. Who are the protectors? The old man and the old woman. And they were treating the dog just a being with a soul like a human being. Understand? So you have completed the first paragraph. So come on the paragraph number second. The old man, being a rice farmer, went daily with a hoe or spade into the fields, working hard from morning until Otantosama, as the sun is called, had gone down behind the hills. And what had happened? The old man, being a rice farmer, the old man was a rice farmer, so he went daily with a hoe. Hoe means in Hindi we say kudal or spade, powder, into the fields. And the old man worked hard from morning till Otantosama. Otantosama means as the sun is called, had gone down behind the hills. Otantosama means here sun. When the sun goes behind the hill, on that time the old man was working with his hoe and spade. Every day the dog followed him to work, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. And as you know that every day the dog was following him to work. When the old man was going to work, on that time the dog was following him, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. And here is a term, heron. Heron means crane, bagula. In Hindi you say it. And the dog never harmed the white heron when he was walking on the footsteps of the old woman. When the dog was following the old woman to pick up the worms. When the heron means when the crane was following the old man, walking on the old man's footsteps, the dog did not harm him. The crane was walking for what purpose? When the crane was walking for the purpose of taking worms, for the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life, and often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. For the old fellow, the old person was what? He has more patience, he has patience, and he was a kind person. Everything, not for only the dog, for everything, every creature that had life, which are full of life. And often turned up a sword. Here is the term, turned up means dug up. He covered, opened, dug up. And sod. Sod means turf, upper part of grassland. Sod means upper part of grass land. So when The old man was kind and he has more patience for the things which had life, and he often turned up, dug up, opened the sod, Mr. upper part of the grassland on purpose to give push to the birds, and he was turning the grasses for the purpose so that the birds can take food. Understand? Come on, the next paragraph. One day the dog came running to him, putting his paws against his legs and motioning with his head to some spot behind. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and didn't mind it. One day, what had happened? When the dog came running to him, to the master, to the kind old man, and he putting his paw, and the dog kept his paw. Paws means, what do you mean by the term here, paws? You would say in Hindi, panja, claws. So he used his paws against his legs and motioning, he was in motion. Dog was in motion with his head. He was moving his head to some spot behind. He was indicating about some place, some spot that was behind to the old man, to the kind old man. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mind it. So, firstly, the kind old man understands that his pet was only playing with him, so he didn't mind. But the dog kept on whining and running to and fro for some minutes. But the dog kept on whining to utter pitiful. Whining is a term here. To utter pitiful, कोई चीज करुणा के भाव से कहना, to utter pitiful, to say anything with kind. Understand? Whining. And the dog was kept on whining and running to and fro, here and there. To and fro means here and there for some minutes. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. And what had happened? Then the old man followed the dog a few yards. After few words, and he reached to the place where the animal began a lively. And lively means, what do you mean by the term here? Lively means actively. Lively means actively. So the dog started to scratch the ground actively, means with full activity, thinking it was possibly a buried bone or bit of fish. Then the old man understood that it may be possible there may be buried bone, the bone of any animal or bit of fish. The old man struck his hoe in the earth. So the old man struck his hoe in the earth. When low means see. Low means here see. A pile of gold gleamed before him. And when the old man used his hoe, he got a gold pile, heap of gold that was gleaming before him. So, here we have read in these three paragraphs that there was an old man who had a pet dog, Muko. The Muko was very gentle. He was following his master, old man, when he was going to work on the field. The old man was very kind. He did not harm the birds, animals, any creature which has life. And the dog also was following the same thing we have read. After that, we read that the dog started to indicate something to his master, old man. But the old man was not understanding first. The old man understand that he is playing with him. But when he reached the spot where the dog was scratching the ground, he got a heap of gold. So in this way, the dog helped the old man, kind old man. So in these paragraphs, we read these things. So I hope that you have understood these paragraphs clearly. And some of the words that are here, slug means comfortable, heron means crane, sword means upper part of grassland, and whining means to utter pitiful. Pitiful means daya ke bhav se. Whining means mourning. We can't say it mourning, but we can say it. Whining means to utter pitifully, to say pitifully anything. Lively means actively, to do anything actively. So I hope that you have understood these clearly. And for the next video, you have to watch. Thank you.